I haven't done this in a while. Hello everyone, what's up? I am hoping you are having a great day. Today we are going to be talking about the books I read in February. Guys, I read 6 books. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. The key is audiobooks. I don't know guys, lately I just haven't had time to read as much, but I want to read more, but I just haven't had time to read much, and then when I do get time to sit down and read, I have the attention span of a squirrel basically right now when it's coming to reading. So for a while there I wasn't doing as much reading as I would like. So my new thing is now if I'm not feeling like reading, I will just turn on an audiobook and listen to that. So that is how I actually did all my reading. But I did read the traditional style as well, but let's get started to talk about the books. The first one, and I'm gonna categorize 4 of them together because they're all in one series. The first books I read were the Heroes of Olympus series. This is just the first 4 books. I didn't read the 5th book because I started these series, guys, way back when I was 13. It's been a while. And I slowly read them through high school as each like installment was coming out. But I got to the House of Hades and I just couldn't get into it. I liked the 1st and 2nd book. Once we got to the 3rd and 4th, I really did start losing interest in it. And it wasn't because I didn't like the characters. I think a lot of it was the dual perspectiveness. I'm not a dual perspective type person. I could do maybe 2 different perspectives in a book, but I really can't do more than that, or I just start to lose interest in the storyline. So I think that is what happened. But I've been wanting to know how this series ended because like I grew up with the Percy Jackson series. I love the Percy Jackson series. And I just wanted to finally be like, okay, I've read it all. I turned on the audiobooks and I kind of wiped them out in a week, guys. But now I have the Blood of Olympus now to finish. I don't know why, but when it comes to like the last book of a series or the last episode of a TV show, I tend not to watch it or read it because I'm like, I don't want it to end. So I don't know when I'll get to the last book, but I'm glad I finally was able to just like sit down and finish them because A have been one of those books like I've been wanting to finish but just haven't had the motivation to finish. I tried to go back and read them in person and I couldn't do it. So audiobooks were my way to go and it worked, guys. I love them. They're so fun. Like they kind of just took me back. That is one thing that was like really great. It kind of took me back and just they were such a fun read, and I don't like there's not much to say about it because everyone knows what the Percy Jackson series are. The Heroes of Olympus series, I should say. But it is really good. I love the characters. I love the writing. It's a fun story, honestly. Anyways, let's get on to the next one though, because I do have more opinions on that one, and that was Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I have a love-hate relationship with this book. Will I read the second one? Absolutely. Will I say I absolutely love this book? No. I think my biggest thing is with this book is the writing in it is amazing. The characters are great. But I think what my biggest thing was is having read the Caraval series and loving that so much, just going into then this series, I just felt like it didn't hold up to that type of standard for me personally. This tends to happen with me though when I read a one author series and the author writes a book in the same world but by different characters, that I tend not to like the spin-off as much. And like I said, it wasn't that I didn't like this. I just felt that being the same world, it didn't really, I feel, hold up to the Caraval series. And I just never really got involved with the main character, Evangeline, here. And like I said, guys, this is just my opinion. So if you love this book, great. And like I said, I did. I liked this book to a certain extent. But I just felt like the plot twists weren't really plot twists. I felt that like I didn't really get to know the characters. I felt like the author never really answered the question, why should I care about these characters? Okay, I'm gonna spoil the book real quick. I'm gonna put a picture of the book right in this corner here. Mute this if you haven't read it and you plan to read it. And then when the picture disappears, you can unmute it. Spoiler part starts now. So guys, the whole point of starting of this book is, yes, it starts off with Evangeline, like she has to go and kiss people because she made this bargain with Jax and stuff, and that's great. It helped drive the plot, but it really wasn't a big part of the plot. And then with the whole murder of Prince Apollo, guys, I really felt like I didn't care, you know, and that I think that's why it's like when he died, I was like, okay, I just never really cared. So therefore when Evangeline was on the run as a fugitive and now we're starting up the second book, saying up like how do we wake him up, I'm like, I really don't care. I really don't know these characters well enough to really care about them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Honestly, when we read books, that's what makes us care about the plot or the characters. And I don't know, I just felt like the plot was just Evangeline's a fugitive and now she's on the run. She made this bargain with Jax and then she turned herself to stone and then she was out of stone. And I'm just like, okay. I just felt like the author never answered the question of why should I care about this? Why should I care about the character? Why should I care about the story? I just didn't like Evangeline. I felt she was just very two-dimensional. I didn't really feel like there was that much depth to her character. And so that, like I said, is just my opinion, and the whole plot twist, like, oh, it's the king's brother. It was the brother that killed Apollo. It's like, okay, like, I didn't care that much because we didn't know the brother at all. So I just didn't feel like the Caraval series was just so nicely written, where there were plot twists that were actually plot twists that were shocking. Just here, I felt like we just never knew the characters enough to really care about the storyline too much. And that was just my opinion, though. Spoiler part is done. So yeah, guys, like I said, I will definitely read the second book because I do like the character Jax. I am interested to see where the author goes with that storyline with him. But I was a little let down by his book, but it was still a good book. I still enjoyed it. I think I give it about 3.5, maybe 4 stars, but probably more 3.5 stars. Like I said, it was good, it was entertaining, but I just felt like the author never answered the question of why do I care. And then last, guys, I know this is going to be such a short video, but the last book is A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. This was definitely one I did have to audiobook it. I tried, you've seen in my December videos I was trying to read it. I couldn't get into it. I want to read A Court of Silver Flame, and I know I've been saying that for a year now, but I'm gonna get to it eventually. But I knew I probably should have read this before I read that, and I just couldn't get to it. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna audiobook it so then I can get out of the way, and I finally start A Court of Silver Flame whenever I feel to read it. I didn't really like it. Well, you know, it was one of those shorter books. It's more of a bridge, so obviously nothing is really gonna happen in this one because, like I said, it's serving as a bridge to her future books. But it was a fun tale, but me being just a slow reader I am, just really didn't want to put into the work of reading it, so I audiobooked it. But I mean, it was just like a fun little read, but it wasn't my favorite. But then again, like I said, it was a short book. It's more to serve as a bridge. That is okay, so I can't say too much criticism there. It reminded me though how much I love the characters though, because like I said, it's been a while since I read the Court of Thorn and Roses series, so reading about these characters again just reminded me how much love I have for these characters, and kind of did give me that extra motivational push I needed to read A Court of Silver Flame. Anyways, guys, like I said, this was a really short video. I'm not gonna go into what I plan to read this upcoming month because honestly it changes every day. Some days I'm like, I'm gonna read mystery, and that's like, I'm gonna read romance, and I'm like, no. So I'm not gonna say that because I really feel like it changes so much. But I just wanted to give a little update on what I read. I'm glad I was trying to get the Hero Olympus series that way, because now, like I said, I could just say I've read it. It was a really good reading month. I hope to read a little bit more in March. I found like in the beginning of February, like I hit the ground running. Like I finished like all the Heroes Olympus book, 1 through 4 I should say, in a week. And then I just had like 2 weeks of like not reading anything. Then in the last few weeks, like boom, hit the ground running. So I'm hoping to read actually more regular this month. That I would say is my goal. Anyways, guys, like I said, it's a short video, but a quick little update. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!